So this is Bella's week 5 drills feedback part 2. So now we're working on the rear cross. So what I want to see you do is go to this wing and then pivot your shoulders and your body to create a nice strong turn. There's 3 steps to the rear cross. Step number 1 is show the dog where they're going, set the path, set the line. So you need to do that at that wing. So you create this line. Step 2 is get commitment from her on that line, get commitment to that jump. Step 3, you drive your line, which should be like this, from that wing towards the far wing of the blue jump towards that tunnel. Those 3 steps have to be done in that order. You cannot drive your line until you get commitment. You cannot get commitment from her until you tell her where she's going. So right here, you're using a lot of arm. And I'd like to see you use a lot more shoulder pivot. See where your shoulders are pivoting your chest? It's kind of aiming towards roughly somewhere in here. Really rotate your shoulders to show that line. That will help a lot. Not just relying on just arm. See? Like right there, you can really see you're swinging a big arm. But our arms aren't as effective as our shoulder in general. So rotate your chest more. But also, look where you are. You're almost halfway between the green and blue jump. But you obviously don't have commitment from her. You are barely even just still showing her the line. And then you keep going, and now you are there, and she's still looking at you. Obviously, you don't have commitment yet, and then now you're just all up in her grill. So you need to stop. It's really hard to do at first, but plant your feet like be a tree. Like plant your feet like they're in concrete at that wing. Rotate your shoulders to create the path. Send her to that blue jump. Then you can run with her a little bit to get commitment, but then you need to get commitment before you can really drive your line. Otherwise, you're going to be doing this kind of thing every time. The other thing we can do in this case, I think, because this is not the easiest rear cross. The thing that makes this not the easiest rear cross is that this path is not the easiest. If her path was like this, then it wouldn't be too bad. But because the path is like this, it does make the rear cross a little bit more challenging. So it means you have to set that path. So once again, you're now 3/4 of the way to the blue jump, and maybe just starting to get commitment there. Okay. So the other thing, and also see your big arm again. I guess your shoulders are better this time. But I'd like to see you where you are right now in that position with your shoulders and all that. But you should have been like this. Erin should be still near the wing. She needs to be able to run in front of you so that you can drive your line. Okay, so what I would also recommend in this case is maybe something like knocking that bar down. Imagine if that bar is not even there at that second jump. Put her right there in between the jump. You stand right here, and you just run this line. I mean, you do a rear cross there. So, but just on that part. So we're going to back chain the rear cross a little bit. So you're standing there. She's standing like right where the bar would be. Toss the bar off to the side. And you say, Bella, go, jump, or whatever if you have a rear cross verbal specific to a rear cross, like swing or switch, whatever. But you tell her that. You get her committed to that line. And then you drive your line. The reason that would be helpful, especially in back chaining the rear cross that way, is because so basically it's able to cheat step 1, which is setting the line, setting her path, which would then make step 2 easier, which is getting her commitment. So that way you can drive your line. So that's what I would recommend for working on these rear cross. The other thing is I would pay her like right now, like as soon, but your payday is still pretty good. And just out of the tunnel isn't bad. I guess, but ideally I would have paid her as soon as she crosses for that. Okay, so now we're going to do a fancy K turn here. This is something that really, like, whenever I include it in this VAS, it's very much an optional thing. As I noted, it tends to be a more advanced cue, although really I don't think it's that advanced or that difficult for most people. I think people, if you wait too long to do it, then it seems harder than it is, in my opinion. Yours is pretty good. I don't think you're going to be doing it that much with Bella, at least not for a long time. What I would recommend, the way that I like to think of them, different people teach them different ways, some of it depending on how exactly you're going to use them. I don't think you're going to be using them that much with Bella. They tend to be more effective, better, creating tight turns when you have off-course options to keep them. So imagine if the yellow tunnel, which is right in front of the camera, was right here. Imagine if this yellow tunnel was up there. Excuse me. And she was thinking you wanted to keep her off doing it. So the way would I suggest that you think about handling it is pretend that you want to do a front cross wrap back to this jump. So just imagine that. So when she's taking this jump, you imagine that you're going to just do a front cross and how you would handle that to wrap that wing and do that, right? So that's how you would cue it to her right up until the point where you are right about now. Once she's thinking that and coming and taking the jump, then instead of you running all the way this way, you just slightly alter your path and you would go this way. So on the takeoff, it's like you cue a front cross on the takeoff, but then you just continue on. But you did a nice job there. And this is all nice too. This last send is more about keeping the dog honest and not letting the pattern. And again, excellent reward out of the tunnel. The tunnels are repaying her and not you. So that's great. So nice work here. Yeah, nice job.